Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. My name is Evie and I read books. And today I got for you guys my Autumn's Equinox Magical Readathon TBR. Wow, I was struggling with that. So it's the second part of the Magical Readathon, like the fall, autumn, equinox, so like course round. Obviously Book Rose can explain it way better, so I will leave all the information that I have down below. I have picked 6 books, if I'm correctly. Not all of them are picked yet. Some of them I'm picking during the readathon, but I'll explain that. First of all, in spring I went from easy. I chose 3 careers and I went from easy to harder to extremely challenging, and I managed to finish the extremely challenging part. That was Archmage. So I was starting with Herbologist, then Healer, then Archmage if I felt like a good reading month is going. I was first thinking about doing the same thing, and I might still do the same thing if I have a great reading month, but this is not, this DBR is not for that. Because for this DBR I only chose the Healer path, because my reading months have been, some books months I've been reading for like 3 to 4 books, and then other months I am reading like 10 plus books, and it's just so mixing that I just don't know how much I'm gonna read. And I think reading 6 books could be accomplishable in any month if I push through it and if I feel like reading. But like I already told you guys, I'm gonna go show you guys the books that I'm gonna read for my Healer path. I obviously, if I finish all the Healer books, I might just want to try to challenge me to go through the Archmage prompts just to read more. I'm pretty sure there will also be some quests maybe that I want to finish. I'm not sure. Want to make it like accomplishable but also challenging, and that's the Healer. Herbologist is easy, 4 books. I will definitely get 4 books done. Archmage is extremely hard, and I've also seen that one of the prompts for the Archmage one I'm not really interested in. So in case you don't know what the Magical Readathon is, this is a readathon hosting a couple of times a year, and it's like school-based a little bit. And currently I finished in the spring equinox, I finished the Healer prompts, and now you need to read for like the same courses actually, but more books. So for the Healer, you need to have an O, which is Ordinary in Elemental Studies, a Q, which is Qualified in Alchemy, and a D, which is Distinguished in Restoration. So let's just get on with the books that I'm planning on reading. So let's get starting with Alchemy. For O, it's a Basic of Poisons, which is read a book on someone's worst list that you think you'll like. For this one, I chose Shiver by Ellie Reynolds. It's going to be an ebook that I'm going to be reading. I chose this one from Megwit Books. I think it was not her like worst of the year or something, but I think it was in the mid-year freakout tag. I just went looking for the most disappointing books, and that's one book she has in there. I know it's like a thriller, I think isolated setting thriller that takes place in the winter, which is maybe weird to read like still in the middle of summer, but I don't care. Like, I always try to read the winter books in winter and the summer books in summer, but I end up like reading everything I want whenever I want. By the way, I'm not going to give a lot of synopsis from these books because I just like to go in blind into books. Like, I read the synopsis before I put it on a wish list or before I buy it, but then I just never read it anymore until I might need to read it once in a while, but most of the time I don't read it anymore. You're not going to have like thorough explanations of these books, except perhaps genre and age category or something. And then for the Q, which is Qualified in Alchemy, you need the Poison Acidic Amber, and that is read an orange book. And for that one, I chose Super Deluxe by Susanna Vermeer, which is a Dutch author and a Dutch thriller, an adult thriller. These are like really simple books to read. I always feel like I fly through her books. They're pretty easy and they are sometimes predictable, but they still but I still really feel like they're enjoyable, so that's why I buy them and read them, because most of the time I buy them on sale, and like I said, they're pretty enjoyable. This has, I know it's not much orange like on the cover, but like it's an orange spine and orange back, so I think it qualifies as orange. Now we have finished Alchemy, so let's go on to Elemental Studies. For Elemental Studies, we only need Ordinary, so that's the first rank, I'll call it, and that is Elements of Water. Start your book with a drink. Well, can be like any book you want to start reading, and that's why I picked my Booklantis book club pick of the month of August. When I'm filming this, the book hasn't been chosen yet because we actually always put a poll on and then choose the book on like the first of the month. For the people who don't know, I'm a co-host with a Dutch and a Belgian book club where we read Dutch or Belgian authors every single month to actually promote your own countries and your own languages and your own authors. Although I do really read a lot of translated work and a lot of English books and everything, and I support a lot of authors outside of Belgium and the Netherlands. I really do think it's important to also support your local authors, and that's one way I do that. I obviously also read a lot of Dutch and Belgian books. So, and then on to our third course, which is restoration. For restoration, you need distinguished. So we have 3 different books to pick for that. So for O, it's object restoration. So read a book with a single object on the cover, like as the focus of the cover. I kind of stretched this prompt a little bit because I couldn't really find a lot of objects on my covers, let alone a single object on a cover. Only I could find like Siege and Storm, which has a snake. Then it was like, is a snake an object? I'm not 100% sure. So I chose a group of the same objects, and that is Even If We Break van Marieke Nijkamp. So they're all masks. So I call this a single object because I'm not planning on really buying books for this readathon because I have more than enough books to read. So that's why I'm stretching it, and it's still a single sort of assortment of objects. Let's just call it that. So this is, I think, a YA thriller, if I'm correctly. This is its translated version. I think Marieke Nijkamp is though a Dutch person, but I think she writes in English, and this is translated back to Dutch. Or maybe it's the other way around, that she writes it in Dutch and she translated it in English. That sounds logical, but I'm not 100% sure if she's actually Dutch. It's a fairly Dutch name, so I think she might be Dutch. Then for Q, you need Enchanted Scroll Mending, which is one of the oldest books of your TBR, and I went looking at my physical TBR because I have a digital TBR, and I just don't really know what I got first and what I didn't got first, because a lot of those books aren't even purchase of my own, but like through a subscription service or through my mom or something like that. So I went looking to my physical bookshelf, and I think this is the oldest one that I could find, or that I remember having, and that is Wondersmith by Jennifer Bell. I think I have already mentioned this book in multiple TBRs, and I still haven't read it. It's not that I'm not interested in, because I pick it for TBRs. It's more, I never get around to it eventually for some reason. I think it's a middle grade fantasy. So I am definitely getting around to it right now because I cannot not get around to it again. And then we're already on the last book for our TBR, and that is distinguished for the restoration course, and that is Urgent Battle Care. Read a book in 1 or 2 settings. For this, I'm going to choose a short story or a novella from like Dutch authors. There's like a collection of novellas. I have some of them over here. Like these are like little short stories and novellas. But I'm just bad at catching and buying them, so I read a couple of them through the library already. And that's what I'm also going to be doing, because like those mostly like around 100 pages. And they're mostly I'm enjoying because I don't really read that many short stories. I sometimes feel like I'm missing some depth in it, but I think it's more larger books, and I like the fact that you can get to know people and get to know atmospheres and a lot of plots, points, handling, and you cannot do that in 100 pages, I think. I mean, but like mostly they're like 3 stars. But the book I'm actually talking about is Steve by Marion Pauw. This is also like one of those young adult novellas that I am loaning from the library, and I know I can finish them in 1 or 2 settings. I think most of them I finished in more than 1 setting because I had other things to do at the time. But if I just focus on it, I think I can finish it in 1 setting. So this is my magical readathon TBR. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Leave down in the comments below if you're participating in a magical readathon, and what course are you following or what pad are you following, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!